So I went to the store. I picked up the steel grate that I originally thought I'd put in this, and realized, well, after I got back and was trying to put it together for you guys, that I did that. This here is a 6.3. This is an 8.3. So I went to work. This one we didn't have in stock. So I went to our competitor. They had this 6. As you can tell, it is a little bit smaller, which is okay. It's not a problem. But they also had this 4. Where I worked, the 4s didn't have holes. So I was quite impressed. That actually might be a 3. But I was impressed that they had that nonetheless. That's a 4.25 according to that sticker that I took off the bottom. So when you put these together, don't over tighten. Alright, back to what my plan was to show you. This has a tapered edge. So when you put these in, put the tapering so that the smaller is towards the bottom. It'll actually nest in there a whole lot better. Now, when doing these, make sure you set your rings right. I'll try and get that heat transferred. Now remember, these have a bit of a bowl shape to the bottom. So you need to kind of make up that space, but you don't want to take up too much and over tighten it, because you end up with this. And then you have issues of a different matter. Alright, so we are going to increase the amount, oh yes, that'll work out nicely, of pots we have going on here. And increase the amount of steel by adding that plate in there. And then we will do a burn and see what that yields us. Now, what I'm going to do is only a half-hour burn, and the reason for that, honestly, I've got to go get my kids. I won't have enough time to do a full test and see how the ice melts, but we'll do a half hour, and we'll see what happens there. Oops. Now what I did last time and what broke this was I got this all nice and snug, kind of setting in there nice and neat the way I wanted it, centered, and realized that I'd over tightened it, snapped it. But you can see this one was already cracked right there, so it's not like this thing was completely indestructible anyway. So another one of those on. How much room do I got? No, it's not going to be enough room. But I have a smaller nut. I'll put that one on. Oop. We'll see how much the copper actually helps collect that heat, transfer it up. So that was the whole idea. It's just you add the copper with the steel to transfer that heat better. Now, I may decide that the copper needs to be further up. I may decide that the copper needs to be removed altogether. We'll find out here in a second. Just had to grab another washer real quick. Ooh. Now that leaves just enough room for one nut, not two, which I'm okay with. I have to set this down so I can tighten it up. Now remember that steel strainer is a 4-3-8, which is perfect to line up on the inside of this 8-3 clay pot here. So I'm going to tighten this up, hopefully not break another one. And we'll start again with me videoing the heat, be burning that single candle again, and we'll see how well that warms up. Here it is. It's not lit. It's back together up on the stand. And I realized that doing this, playing with this, that if you're going to put a stand like this together, do yourself a favor, put some lock nuts on it, or lock washers when you put it together, so that when you go to set it up, you do not have this thing wobbling about. Every time you touch it, it loosens up. Unfortunately, our burn time is not going to happen. As of right now, I realize I've got maybe 10 minutes to get 2 blocks over so that I can get my kid. So what I'm going to do is turn this off here in a second, and probably when we get back, they got a little bit of homework to do, so I'm going to have them do that, and I'll probably try and videotape a burn then, because I'll have maybe about an hour, maybe a half hour to be able to show that. So I'll leave it set up like this for right now, and we'll get that set up. So I turn this off, hopefully restart it once I get back. Alright, I'm back. We're going to start our burn. Get that up underneath there. Let's see, with all the added pot and that steel in there, it's right underneath this first one. That's actually going to take and make it harder for this to heat up, and the reason for that is then it has to heat all that mass up before it can actually heat this top plate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a step back and turn on the timer, 30 minutes, and then we'll come back to this and we'll see how well that works. Alright, here we go.